Right, see. Hello, my loves. Hello, hello. Actually, we got to put this necklace on. It's been in my pocket. Heads up, boo, to you all. This is, I guess, an alternative to Vibrant Souls Night. I'm not doing any performances tonight, but I still wanted to go live. It's just gonna be a little mukbang. um, Wait, let me see if I can try that. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. All right, all right. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill and eat my dinner. Use this little baby food fork. Is honestly the best thing to eat watermelon out of. Like after you cut the watermelon into sections, it's very easy to eat like this. And some people, use a melon baller or an ice cream scoop, but she's very. Oh, I'm gonna spill the juice now. This is a very sweet watermelon. My goodness. But yeah, I don't want to waste the watermelon or be too stuck up when you can use that perfectly good little fork. Let me move over so y'all don't see a shoe rack behind you. But this is my dinner, plant-based. I just made a YouTube short with the facts, but this is right here in this bowl is 30 grams of protein. So yeah, I'm just gonna it feels like an eyelash touching the inner corners of my eye, but I also have this beautiful red candle lit. It's fall leaves. As you can see, not I, but this was my mom's candle, and then when it was like here, it's like the 1/3, I've used it, so it is pretty, it's a favorite, let me just say. It's pretty used. But I'm just gonna do a little mukbang, talking, channeling, whatever comes up, because I've had a lot of connections coming together. Wait. Sorry, let me read the chat. In terms of the workshops I'm about to teach. Hello. Watermelon and beef? No. So this is plant-based food. This is wild rice, green lentils, greenish brown lentils, green split peas, and quinoa. I will like and subscribe. Okay, thank you. Hi, Victoria. Wow, you put your full government name as your YouTube channel? That's so strange. Well, this is what it looks like up close. It's not beef. I do not eat beef at all. Vegan-matarian? That's not really what you call it, but I live plant-based. Like, I follow a plant-based lifestyle. So, yeah, it's healthy. This is 30 grams of protein. Again, for those who just came in, this bowl is 30 grams of protein. If you're more curious on the information and stuff with electrolytes, vitamins, that stuff, I made a YouTube short and I just posted it before going live. So, but yeah, instead of doing Vibrant Souls Night tonight, I'm just gonna do a mukbang talk. So, Nature Boy, it's funny you're leaving these comments, but that's your name, Nature Boy. Like, it's a little suspicious. I might say a little suspicious. So good. Oh, I know this meal is gonna bless me and uplift me. Thank you. you, Spirit, for these lovely plants and animals, and to the Creator who created them. Thank you. And here you go. Here's a piece of watermelon. It's very sweet. Delicious, right? But yeah, it's been a lot going on recently, so I haven't really been focusing on, excuse me. Let me grab something under this tripod, funny enough. Oh, okay, well, it's just gonna have to lean for now. Sorry. Sorry. I'm grabbing these plastic sheets, by the way. They're just a lot underneath my planner, which is what the tripod is over, so. One second. So I've had 2 meetings this week and 1 meeting last week. So this what I'm talking about in terms of I have a lot going on, a lot coming together, channeling, all that stuff. And I know you guys can hear the solfeggio frequencies in the background, but I had a meeting there last week as well. And then I brought these visuals for the workshop class, and it is the emotions on the first, wait, let me make sure y'all can see this. But this is the primary emotions in the middle of the wheel, right? And then on the outside of that middle is the secondary emotions, and then there's a third tier of emotions. So this is like a visual demonstration to help people in the workshop when we're talking about identifying our emotions, when we're talking about degrees of influence, when we're talking about EFT tapping and clearing energy from your meridian lines. Emotions hold a lot of energy. It's energy in motion, right? So yes, and then this is another, and this is a magnet, by the way. But this is another one for when I talk about the spiritual science and the philosophy and things coming together, that part. Also, thank you guys for the likes. I have 5 likes already, and I've only been live for 7 minutes and 50 seconds and counting. But anyway, this is, and I want to read a bunch of the quotes so y'all can hear it coming together. But this is the Eightfold Noble Path, and it says, striving to live each day of my life with compassion and wisdom, I will endeavor to follow the Buddha's Eightfold Noble Path. And you can see here, this is a way to live that does not create attachments, that helps you release suffering, and thus you will not have emotional blockages, karmic relationships, or inauthentic lifestyles. So you can see here, right, I forgot it's mirrored, right views, right thought, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right meditation. So people can take a look, and that's what the wheel, there's 8 little notches on the wheel. That's literally, it stands for a principle. Every wheel mark is a principle. So if you ever see a wheel with 8, I think it's called spokes or like spigots or something. No, it's probably not spigots, but either way, that's what it is if you're seeing it. But I forgot. I need to eat this where it's cold. But you know, some people are never taught this information, so having visuals and workshops is easy to understand it. So. Yeah. And then like yesterday, in one of the meetings, like I showed them like the manager of the space and everything, but we were talking about like, oh, the workshop, how to format it and all this stuff. So I just brought all of my material, and she like whittled it down to what people would be able to grasp. And she's like, okay, let's build on this and kind of like lay a foundation first. So she was like numbering it for, okay, this is a class, this is a class, this is a class, this is a class, and like sequencing it, right? And then I added on like to talk about the seasons changing and moon cycles to help practice grounding, and then like the visuals and stuff on the bottom. But excuse me, that was like from one of the meetings this previous week. Let me look. This person said bye twice. Okay, bye-bye. It's fine. It's really chill. And a lot more people watch the replays of my live again, so it's never like I'm used to the viewership count now. I had to learn that, so no big deal. Just me chilling, clearing my mind. And it was weird because one time I was live and someone was like, commented narcissistic, and I thought it was in like line with what I was talking about. So I was like, oh yeah, right. Or I was like, yeah, exactly. Something to that effect. But then there were like another lonely narcissist. I was like, okay, that's interesting. You know, like, I don't think it's narcissistic to want to have documentation of yourself and your evolution and like talking to people. I think that's such a weird angle for people to put on people who try to do social media or take it more serious than other people who just, you know, post cat videos or, you know, like random stuff. I don't know. Like, social media navigation is just so interesting as well with all the, you know, apps and technologies and things now. So you kind of have to deal with a mixed bag of reactions, which is why I've been focusing more on just being consistent with my uploads. And, you know, I've been consistent with doing that Vibrant Souls night. I did at least 3 of them. I did the same with my poetry. So I've been consistent with my art and like showing who I am and showing up for at least a month now. And I'm doing all this without a laptop or a phone to like, you know, with all of my stuff on it from before. Like, I'm borrowing this laptop from a library so I can work and put stuff onto my Google Drive. And then this phone was like literally a family member's letting me use it. So it's not like I'm making calls or text on it. It's literally like to record, to check my email, and I play games on here, you know. So it's like I'm doing the most bare minimum I can. Like, sorry, that sounds off. That's not what I wanted to say. Hold on. Okay. It's like I'm trying not to distract myself. So energetically, I'm doing the bare minimum with like reaching out to people, talking to people, unless it's actually going to help me like reach a higher level. Just like with that workshop, like freaking like, and it blew my mind because earlier this week I followed up with 2 places that I heard from both of them, word of mouth from the employees, like, hey, you know, they're hiring or they're doing walk-in interviews, you should go on this day or at this time and go to this place. And I followed up with the 2 of them. One of them was on Tuesday, the other one was on Wednesday. And like a long time ago, like Spirit told me, like, you're not gonna work, like you're not gonna get a job anymore. It's not gonna be allowed because you have so much knowledge and so much talent to share with people. So I was like, okay, but I'm still like applying to jobs, you know, and like following up and, you know, doing this stuff. like in conversation, like, oh yeah, I'll check it out, or oh yeah, I'll go here, you know. Sorry, let me turn this down a little. I just realized that it gets loud on some parts. Sorry. But that's 852 hertz, if anyone was curious. But I'm still like following up with society and stuff, but like literally the doors are closed, like they're blocked, you know, because I'm at a different level. Confirmation, excuse me, like energetically. So the fact that me just going into a place and asking them like, hey, you know, do you allow people to teach classes or do workshops or anything like that, and immediately they let me, and now I've just been having meetings and like really actually planning stuff, is like, wow, like that was actually me hearing from spirit, like I'm not meant to work, I'm literally meant to teach people. um so yeah, I just thought like, yeah, I don't know, it's not crazy, but it's also like it's not conventional, you know. I think that's my little brother. Yep. I'm back before 11. Okay. Yeah, so oh, let me read your comment. Thank you so much. What is your handle? Let me read your handle because that was a very nice comment. Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate that. Um so yeah, I just think that, you know, you have to be led by your spirit with what you're doing, because if you know that you're not meant to stay in, you know, that same mind space or pursuing the same thing, you know, that's just proof that you've evolved. That's just proof that you are here for a higher calling, so to speak. So yeah. This is really good. And like the cool part was today I got to pass out flyers um at these, like, you know, stores and businesses and stuff. Um and I got to talk in detail to like, what was it, like 3 people. And one of them was actually like, "Oh, I'm super interested in this type of thing. You know, it's interesting that you don't meet very many people who are into spirituality. You mostly see it online." And I was like, "Yes, thank you. Exactly. Like, that's the exact reason why, like, why these workshops are are so purposeful. Like, and the timing of it too is like amazing because, excuse me, sorry, I don't know if you guys just saw me chewing my food with my mouth open. But I think it's so impactful to be doing workshops and community classes like this during this like fall winter season, because it's like that's the time when seasonal depression or seasonal affective depression happens because of the lack of sunlight. And like around the holidays, a lot of people may not have that family or the group of people to do events with for um celebrating holidays or whatnot. So I think it's like amazing, like divine timing, that this is happening now, so that the community can come together. And it's also a small town, so it's like word of mouth catches on, you know, pretty quickly, obviously, but it's a lot of status quo, just hang out with your families or your neighbors, or don't talk to people as much. Like, it's easy to go either or. Like, you either talk to everybody and you figure out what's going on in the town, or you just see everything on Facebook that the town is doing, like events or excuse me, town halls, meetings, stuff like that. Confirmation, right? Or you just don't talk to anyone, go to church, go to work, talk to your family at home, wake up, repeat it, you know, type of thing. So, yeah. And I didn't put any salt in this either. No seasoning, not even like onion powder or cilantro, like, because the wild rice had seasoning already with it. Um, so this is like super healthy, super healthy. Because I would normally put like salt or like a salsa type of thing, and that every salsa like in stores are packed with sodium. Like I'm talking 200 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams, like a lot of sodium in salsas. If you weren't familiar. But I had soup and crackers earlier today, so I don't always eat plant-based or super healthy. So I need some more of this watermelon though. I'm like dehydrated. And this is amazing because watermelon is literally one of the most alkaline fruits, so it's super healthy, super packed with electrolytes, but it also tastes like candy. So it's medicinal and it tastes super good. Like if you were to eat anything, like for a dessert, for dietary replacements of stuff, or even for like fasting, like just having watermelon for a few days to a week, like this is such a good fruit. Some people break their fast by eating fruits like this. Some people just take a break from eating and fast with just watermelon and tea and water. Um, so really you can't go wrong with watermelon. But I know some people who um, wouldn't eat cake or cupcakes and they'd eat watermelon as a replacement for carbs. And actually Demi Lovato said their managers, well, I don't know if it was one or multiple, because I remember like her mom was her manager at one point, but I remember her saying that she couldn't eat like cake growing up. At a certain point they would just give her a watermelon cake for her birthday, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that story was so impactful to me just because of how ridiculous it is. Just because it's like it's cake once a year, like just yeah, just the entertainment standards are really crazy for women in general, but for pop stars it's so crazy. And look, you get a nice little drink. Mm-mm-mm. Can't really go wrong with watermelon, like I said. Like I was saying. And I didn't even want to, like, use a spoon because I didn't want to wash a lot of dishes. I washed the dishes earlier this afternoon. So I'm like, yeah, just use the same little spoon they use to stir the stuff in the pressure cooker. This is also a good soup spoon though. Really delicious. It's so touching to see, like, the last comment that was commented was the person who, you know, said that I'm an amazing person, I have a beautiful soul. Like, it's so touching when people see you, like, when people can just sense that you're a good person, or that you have, you know, a genuine, pure heart, like a soft heart. Like, I love that people notice that about me. I truly do. Genuinely and truly do. And I'm also like, I was someone who went from sapiosexual to demisexual. So it's like I'm very much attracted to people's intelligence and the way that they carry themselves and how their mind works. But also, like, I need to have an emotional connection with someone to actually want to be in a relationship with them, or just be intimate in general. Like, I won't want to kiss someone, you know, for example, um, or hold hands with someone if they're, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, if their mental is just whack, or they just believe in so much propaganda. Like, ugh. You know, my pet peeve is like people who assume, like, in a negative connotation about anything. Like, they just assume certain things are the truth, or they assume something about someone's character. Like, they assume that what they heard as gossip from someone else is true. Like, that type of assuming. Not like reading people and energy, like I was just talking about, but like when you just straight up assume things, it's like, what did you get from that? You know? Because so many people cannot actually read me. And it's not even like on an astrological thing, like, oh, what's your sign? You know, oh, I would have never guessed. Like, it's legitimately like, I don't show like my full self a lot of times, but I was also taught to be invisible growing up. So like that's why in the beginning when I was saying like me being consistent with like going live or posting YouTube shorts, or like talking about health and wellness, or um, like now I'm posting about the stuff that I'm going to teach workshops on. But even like on TikTok, I'll post something and then post it on my YouTube. Excuse me. But YouTube is great for long format things, and excuse me, again, going live for long periods of time. So it's like, you know, talking about auras and biofields and grounding, meditation. Again, like what I just showed, like with the eightfold path and the feelings, primary and secondary, and those layers of emotions. It's like people genuinely just don't know this stuff. That's why I'm so happy again that I'm doing this in a small town, in a small community, because a lot of what they learn is just to pass a benchmark or to fit into the congregation, you know? There's so many people here that get into drugs and alcohol just because there's nothing to do. So this is like trying to, like, it's not high standards per se, but it's like there is high hopes for having community workshops in this season. So, you know, oh, this watermelon is so good though, man. So good. Mm-mm-mm-mm. You know, I can see why they do like punch bowls in a watermelon, just because of how simple it is to make a drink from the juice. But me striving to be my most authentic self is the timeline I'm on. So as long as I show up and share my knowledge, I'm being my authentic self. I'm not really here to perform for love. I'm not here to prove myself. Like, the amount of knowledge I hold is so vast, just as a person who works with nature and has embraced their roots and decolonized their mind, you know? So it's not even on like I'm better than people or whatever. It's just like I genuinely know something that can help change somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? Because like life coaching teaches you how to have awareness and like learn about family systems and structures and why you do the things that you do, right? But like with Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, and my research and like love for those things and like Asian culture in general, it's like following different ways of life outside of religion has also really helped me to detach from that upbringing and how I was raised to be, and just like the amount of curiosity that has led me to healing is astronomical. Astronomical. Astronomical since 2020, man. But even in the last 2 years, like I've just had so many encounters spiritually with so many things that I'm just like, I need to sort out my beliefs and what actually works for me, because intaking a lot of information just makes me ungrounded. So can't do anything if you're ungrounded. And some people that I talk to, like they know a little bit about a little bit, and I'm like, well, actually, there's a science to that, you know, type of thing. Like when I was passing out the flyers and I was talking to one of the people in detail, and they're like, oh yeah, I know. What did they say? Like they either said like my friends or my neighbors, but they're like, oh yeah, on Facebook they post stuff about grounding and they look so happy all the time, and I don't know what's the reason behind it. I was like, yeah, they get electrons from grounding with the earth because you're bonding with the Schumann resonance of the earth. But it's like if I didn't do that research and put all these things together, it would have just been like, yeah, grounding is cool, grounding is good, you know, like actually putting together a workshop helps me retain the information as well. Um, and it also helps to have a person to, what is it, bounce ideas off of, so to speak, because it's like, how is this translating to someone else? How is this translating to someone who's been in the wellness space and business already? Like they're a certified Reiki practitioner and a massage therapist, but they've owned like this company and they've been able to branch off from one city to this city that I'm in now. So it's like they're trying to get their business and stuff going with the community, doing stuff with like this other studio across the street. And it's like, yeah, we're really just trying to get people together and do something. But my goal isn't about booking people or business or money. It's purely going to be a side effect because of how effective I am at teaching people. So it's really like, I'm here for your soul. You know, I'm here to help you ascend. I'm here to uplift you with spiritual science. Because genuinely, when you know you could beat a mental distortion or a mental injury that was given to you through life experience and trauma that you weren't responsible for, you're, I almost cursed, but it's like you're freaking untouchable. Learn how to rewire your nervous system. You literally stop getting sick as much, right? Learning how to heal that inner child, how to identify emotions when they come up instead of letting your, again, that trauma or that hurt, excuse me, or that hurt dictate your life. Like that's literally healing. That's literally ascending. And it's like, wow. So like so much stuff is just coming together, and like I'm hearing, excuse me, new information and meditations. I'm seeing stuff online that's like aligning with what I'm posting. Um, and like certain things will come up and it'd be like someone about to crash out or someone making a skit about crashing out. I'm like, if you don't just walk barefoot in the grass, it was a new moon yesterday, like relax. And then they respond like with a crying emoji, okay, you know, we'll do. And it's like, it's just so funny how when you're in a different energy, again, when you're in a higher frequency, it's like you literally are brought help, or you're shown who you need to help. It's like you don't have to even do that much because you already trust and know, like, hey, if I've gotten to this place in this space where I'm at right now, it's because I gave away, or I don't know if gave away is the actual term, but like because I've given up the trash and the BS and the inauthenticity of the past, I'm able to sit here and actually speak to someone and talk to them about the times where my boundaries were violated. Talk about the times where I've violated my own boundaries, like being an addict, right? Being someone who's in toxic relationships or becoming a toxic person in a relationship. Like, you know, not saying that I'm a perfect person, but saying that I'm literally someone who stopped chasing perfection because it was ruining myself and the way that I saw myself, which ruins the way you show up. So again, authenticity and being yourself and just really sorting through your beliefs will save you a lot of harm, a lot of suffering, a lot of confusion in the future. So, yeah, that's my spiel. But of course, I will be trying to post more videos, going live potentially on here, maybe one day when I have a workshop together, or I might just post a recording of it. But I have to see how the setup and everything is, and like if people are okay being recorded. Um, because it is an interactive workshop, right? So it's like I could just put it on me as the recording, but people are going to be in the background, or at least you're going to hear them, right? So still some things to work out, but the class is coming up very soon. It's Friday as I'm filming this, and it's less than a week away. So it's like super exciting to me, but I'm actually gonna get off live because my food has gotten cold and I've become very distracted. So I'm gonna say bye to you all. Thank you for your engagement and time, and we'll see you later.